But that's beside talking about nuts and talking about what you mentioned before. Like it's so important to get a good coach, right? In certain areas of your life, especially your health. It's so important. What drives me crazy is that it's so difficult to find a right coach when we're talking about health and fitness. And the reason for that is what I've seen so far, and I'd love to hear your opinion, is that there's like, different camps right across from each other in regards to what's good and what's not. You mentioned coffee, for example. You got, I can't come up with his name this quick, but you got the bulletproof coffee at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
absolutely, I do not drink coffee, but then he has it in tea form as well. Fantastic. But then he puts in, for example, coconut oil. People are absolutely for, absolutely
Yeah,
against. And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
as a person like me, I haven't studied it. I don't have the time to study it. But then you have those two different camps. You're like, which one is the right one then for me? What do I do? Which then, for me, and I guess for a lot of people out there, it will happen that you're just like, okay, I can't decide, forget it. I'm not going to make a decision. I'm just going to let it go. And I'm just going to continue doing what I do because at least that makes me feel happy and I don't have to stress out. So my question to you is, okay, so, where should somebody start then? And how can somebody make that decision without getting overwhelmed and getting stressed out?
Man, I think that you're asking a lot of really good questions, and I'm glad that we're having these this type of conversation, because what you're basically talking about is it's the everyday person who doesn't have a ton of knowledge, or even people who think that they have a ton of knowledge and they know what to look for, that actually don't. And the biggest thing I can say is it kind of goes back to, when you're talking about problem solving and team building, they say that, if you want to know the answer or something, then ask why, 3 times or 7 times. Some people say 7 times. So when you're looking for a coach, first, let's say that, when you're speaking to a coach, let's say someone's already reached out to someone. Okay. When you ask them about what their philosophy is, ask them about their background, because to be honest with you, someone else's background can play drastically into how they coach other people. Not to, talk myself up, but, I played high school sports and I was a standout, and I played college and I was a standout, and I played professional and I was a standout there. But then I've worked with 91-year-old clients who could barely walk. And I've worked with 7-year-old kids who are still very, impressionable and developing their body. And then I've worked with, everyone in between, 40s, 50s, 60s, men's, women, So understanding the background of the person that you're dealing with, because if all they've done is work with higher end athletes, then that's probably what their training is going to be. Next thing is, once you ask them their philosophy, start asking why, and ask why at least 3 times. Well, why? Well, because, that's how you get the muscle to respond. Why? Well, because, why? And like I would always tell my members at my gym, I would say, hey, don't be afraid to ask questions, because as a coach, I should have an answer for you. A program should always have a couple things: the ability to scale someone up, as well as the ability to scale someone down. So if it's not enough for you, I can ramp it up. I can find ways to get you more volume without breaking you. If it's too much, it's easily scalable. Not where someone says, well, this is the way that it's done, and that's, if you can't do that. What about people that can't actually, like, I love to program squatting in my programs. Squatting burns more calories per rep than any movement. You're going to work more muscles. It's a fantastic movement. Now, some people physically cannot squat because they've been in car accidents or they've had certain injuries. So you need to find other ways to activate their hamstrings, their glutes, their hips, their quads. So a coach should be able to scale up and scale you down. And then they should be able to fully explain the long-term philosophy of their program. I like to think of myself as a more of a sustainable fitness coach, because listen, I can make you go hard for about 4 or 8 weeks or 16 or 20 weeks even. But what's going to happen after that? You know, how are you going to sustain these results that you got? Which is where, you know, someone will do keto and then, you know, oh, they get these results. Yeah, it's because you shocked your body. Now, can you maintain that? You know, and I think that rolls to with anything, you know, being a fearless father. I mean, you can start out, you know, taking your kids to all their practices and going to all their games and buying, you know, roses for your wife every week and things like that. But can you sustain that? You know, what can you do long term? You know, it's not a short game. So that's kind of what I like to preach. And, you know, that's why I have programs for everybody. I have my, you know, Killer Dad Bod program. You know, I have my Burn Zone program, which is, you know, strictly for people who just are looking for extreme fat loss. The Killer Dad Bod program is, you know, made just for the guys. You know, I have my 10-week vegan program, which is, you know, made just for people who want to learn and see results out of their body. You know, that's a 10-week all-inclusive program. So it's, you know, it really just depends what you're looking for, but where's the sustainability, man?
Exactly. Yeah. So long term is the key of the game.
100%. I mean, everybody wants to see results right now. And I'll have people that'll do my programs that'll lose, you know, 12, 17 pounds in, you know, in 3 or 4 weeks. But they're not going to sustain those results. You know, now the wins are going to be much smaller. You know, they're going to lose, you know, a pound a week, and then it's going to drop to a half a pound a week. And now it's, can you mentally sustain the work that it takes to keep getting these smaller wins, but long term, you know what I mean? You'll just be killing it.
Exactly.